Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a news video for you guys to enjoy. Today we officially got the new Haslab announced, and I just kind of wanted to go over it with you guys and talk about it and I guess share in my excitement. Very light excitement, to be clear. This isn't what I was wanting for the next Haslab, but I anticipated it coming. I knew it was going to happen. We all knew it was going to happen. Pretty much everybody assumed this would be the next Haslab, and it was. This is the next Haslab, and I wasn't looking forward to it. I didn't think it looked that great, but it's real. It exists. We can see it, and now that we can see what it is, I'm actually kind of impressed. I think it looks significantly better than I thought it would. So I'm pretty happy with what we're getting here as a package. There are some things I'm a little bit like about. I'm not as like enthused about some of the things we're going to get, so we'll go over that here in a little bit. But yeah, so the Haslab was announced, and we can go ahead and talk about it. Starting with the I guess the main page here, we have the Kickstarter page, the funding page, the Haslab page, I guess, because this is not under Kickstarter or any crowdfunding website, known website. This is exclusively the Hasbro crowdfunding website. The first thing that kind of gets me excited about this is it's only $200, and I think that is a perfectly reasonable price. I think that's totally acceptable. I think it's totally cool. I'm super happy with that. That is much more fair than like the almost $500 for the Spirit of Vengeance card. I think that's significantly more appealing for me as a consumer. So I'm pretty happy with that. $200. Right now they're sitting at 2,000 backers out of 10,000. The goal is 10,000 backers. We have about 45 days to get there. Seeing how it's only $200, I think we'll get there. I do think it would be easier if we had some better stretch goals. The ones that we have as far as stretch goals are, so we have this article here by Comic Beats, so we can see a little bit more information about the figure. We do have some very nice glamour shots. So as you may have noticed, Hasbro have been doing these Days of Avengers type thing where they release a new image every day or every week. I'm not quite sure the timing of these images. I think it's every week because they have been doing this for a little while now, where they're basically building up a scenario of the Avengers fighting all these bad guys, and they're kind of losing and they're falling back. It's a real celebration of all the Avengers characters: Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, all these classic heroes. It's very much reminiscent of the original Avengers characters. It's the 60th anniversary. It's a celebration of that comic run, the original comic run. Everything is classic, everything is in that style. So today we saw part 5 where the hero comes to save the day. Giant Man, classic looking Giant Man, back when he had this attire. We get to see him coming out, and he is here to save the day. Some nice glamour shots, some nice diorama shots. It looks pretty darn good. So we have here he is in the city, breaking in, about to fight Ultron. Captain America's cheering him on. Yay, Giant Man. We're happy about that. We got some size comparisons. He stands at 24 inches tall, which is about 60 centimeters. The average figure stands at 6 inches tall, 15 centimeters. So there's a little comparison of Giant Man next to Captain America. We have a nice new glamour shot of Giant Man ripping Ultron in half. It looks pretty good. There he is posing with Ultron's head with all the other Avengers, all the classic Avengers. Most of these I have gotten. I got Hawkeye, I got Iron Man, I got I don't know if I have this cap. This is what, the 20th anniversary cap that came with this Hulk here. Or he didn't come with the Hulk, but they were all a part of the same wave. I have a different cap, the one that released recently. That looks close enough. I'll consider I have classic cap. The new Black Widow, who just released and is in Target right now. People are having issues gathering her up, but you know, I did see her. I just didn't buy her in time, and now she's disappeared. So the first stretch goal we have here is if we can get to 12,000 backers, we have the Marvel Zombies version of this character, which looks totally beautiful. I love this stretch goal. This one I think is totally fair. I think it's totally adequate. I think this is what you would want with this stretch goal. I like it. But then the next one that is, let's see, I don't even know, 14,000 backers. If we can get that far, which I don't think we will, we'll be lucky if we can get to 10,000. I think we'll get to 10,000. I don't know if there's enough people who are into this head sculpt to kind of push you that extra 2,000 backers. This one is the scroll head swap head sculpt. It's cool. You do have the nice ears, a different face and everything. It's a significant change, but all I'm imagining is if I do get this figure, I'm imagining just an extra thing to kind of deal with and like hide and store and put somewhere. So I'm not super excited about that one because I'll never use that one. The Marvel Zombies one, maybe if I collect enough Marvel Zombies characters, but this one specifically, I don't think I'll ever have a need for it. I don't think there's any reason to want it or to really have it for me personally. Like I said, it's just going to be something that it's going to be a pain to store without damaging, because I wouldn't want to get it damaged. I wouldn't want to throw it away. If I do get it, I want to take care of it. This is just not something I would want. So unfortunately, we do have to deal with that. I wish there was a better stretch goal here. Obviously they've been teasing this for a while. I mean, we did have the more recent releases of these Avengers characters. A lot of the more recent releases have been building up to the 60th anniversary Avengers wave, and you kind of could tell that this is like something they're trying to build on. They want you to collect all these characters to kind of add to something. And this is what they were doing. This is what they were adding to. And then we saw the Secret Invasion figures, which you would think would be just a way to tie into the show that just got released. But it kind of works both ways. It works for the show, and it also works for this figure, because this figure comes with the scroll wave. Now we also have the Super Scroll that came in the 2-pack with Jessica Drew. So you could tell they were leading up to something like this, and that's appreciated. It's fun. It's cool. Here's some more glamour shots. So you have a nice stoic face. You can kind of see the detail on his suit. Some more of that texture work, that leather strap looking really, really good. All the fingers are articulated. Each digit bends, digits, I guess is how you could put it. They are double jointed. You have butterfly joints. You have, basically, this is like peak articulation. This is exactly what you would want out of just a regular figure, but also on a big figure. Gosh, I wish one day we could get a 6-inch figure with the articulated fingers one more time. We used to have them. Obviously, it wasn't incredible or anything, but we used to have something, and I wish just one day we could see one figure that kind of can do it. Maybe a Spider-Man, even if it's like if it's a custom somebody makes. If you know of a custom or a person who makes customs who can make a hand sculpt that articulates like that, let me know, because I would love to look into that and maybe grab one of those for like a Spider-Man. I think it would look good. We have that more stoic face. We also have a nice grinning face and a more angry face, so you can set up different kinds of scenes with your character. So it's a complete face, along with the mask. So you have a whole setup there. It's not just like this part of the face and then eyes. It's a whole face that goes underneath that mask. So that's pretty cool. Little bit more of a look at his overall his overall design. Very classic looking, very cool looking. I love the texture. The boots look amazing. Apparently this is one of the most dynamic, most posable giant figures we've ever gotten. I don't know if they probably didn't include it in this set here, but I have a comparison that compares this to all the other Haslabs we've gotten. He is among the shorter or smaller Haslabs that we've ever gotten, so he doesn't quite hold up to like a Galactus or the Sentinel or anything like that. He's not quite their height or anything like that, which is fine. I don't mind that. I don't really think he should be as big as Galactus, so I think that's fair there. But you know, a lot of the Haslabs are not all people. A lot of them are like buildings or cars or vehicles or anything like that. So it stands to reason he wouldn't quite be as big as most of that stuff. But if I can find it, I'll put it in here somewhere. He's not quite as big. He's not the smallest. We've had smaller Haslabs, but he's not quite as big as all the other Haslabs we have gotten. I'm really into those hands, the hands that can articulate. I think that's absolutely genius. I'd love to see something like that one day, like I mentioned already. I saw a tweet by somebody that's like, for $200, if you look at it as like this is a Build-A-Figure, which this would never ever be a Build-A-Figure, not in this quality, not in this size, not in this capacity, it would never achieve that kind of status as a Build-A-Figure. But if it were a Build-A-Figure, you're talking about 6 figures that you have to hunt down, you have to find, you have to make sure you can get every single one. Some of those might be a little bit more difficult to find, some of them might be a little bit more expensive because they never showed up at your store, or they did and they showed up in low quantities and somebody already got them. So you don't get your hands on them one way or another. You have to hunt them down. You're looking at maybe $120, $125, that's $25 a figure. And you're not getting anywhere close to this. If they did this scale, you'd have to add at least 4 extra figures and then just cut the arms and legs in half. And then I think, you know, if there were a way to like bring the arms together and then bring the legs together and then bring those into the body and then bring the body with the head, you're looking at 8 figures total. I think 8 to 10 figures total to get anywhere close to this. That ain't happening anytime soon. So obviously this makes sense as a Haslab, something that is a little bit more out there, that's a little bit more difficult to pull off just as regular retail. So I totally understand this being the next Haslab. It's not what I wanted to get, obviously. I really want a vehicle. We've had figures, we've had people. I wish we could have got that Spirit of Vengeance car. Obviously, that was way too much money. And they said they would never, ever be able to get it below $400, which doesn't make any sense. You don't have to make it as quality as they were trying to go with. They were doing die cast, the steering wheel could turn, the pedals would press in. Strip most of that, and you could easily get it down to at least $250. I think that's probably the price I would have paid for that figure, or that set with the figures. I think that would have been more than fair, but they wanted to make it something it shouldn't have been. But I want a vehicle. I really want Ghost Rider's bike. I appreciate that they were going with the car. I want his bike though. I think his bike is needed. We need Quinjets. We need a Baxter building diorama would be cool. A street diorama, just like a display of like a New York City street, and then it comes with like Luke Cage, Daredevil, Spider-Man, like just some cool figures, some that people could need, like Luke Cage. It's been a while since we've had a Luke Cage figure. We just had a Daredevil not too long ago. We have plenty of Spider-Man, but you could fill it up with like street level characters that we need and don't need, just like enough to make it a package of like $200. That's a little bit more like, I don't know, a little bit more reasonable and a little bit more low-key, smaller scale for collectors who don't quite want to go here with it. I think you could easily pull that off, just like 2 or 3 figures, a nice detailed city street, doors open, you can go into like a shop or whatever, something cool to like set up a huge display. I think that would be cool. But right now we have this Haslab Giant Man, and like I said, despite not wanting him, after seeing him, I think he is a very impressive figure at a very impressive cost. This is, I don't remember what Galactus or the Sentinel were when they were a part of Haslab, because I wasn't collecting at the time. I know right now they're going for $400 to $600 depending on the figure. I think Galactus is a little bit more than the Sentinel. I know the Sentinel came out first, right? and then we got Galactus. But I don't know what they were retail. If they were around that price, that would be great. But I think they were a little bit more expensive than this guy. But like I said, I think it's a fair price. I think it's a very nice looking figure. So I might potentially pick this guy up. I have been so envious of the people who were able to get their hands on Galactus and the Sentinel. I've been so jealous of them because it looks like such a fun thing to have in your collection. This is a guy I don't think I want to miss out on. I think I do want to get him, even though I'm not as into this character. I'm not as into this Haslab. I'm very much like, I'm rooting for it. I really do want to see this go through. I want to see it succeed. So I think that's my thoughts on the character. Please let me know what you guys think of him down in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. All the things YouTubers ask you to do, just do it for me as well. And I will be back with another video, hopefully very, very soon. Bye.